Good afternoon. My name is Jonshila Ravindra of Class 11A.
I am Lakshita of Class 11A.
And today we are here to explain about corruption scandal and DBT. So you might be wondering what corruption is. Corruption is nothing but the misuse of entrusted power for greed or for personal gain. Now we have two case studies where I would like to explain how corruption has destroyed so many economies and a country's society. The first corruption scandal that we're going to be talking about is Operation Car Wash. It took place in Brazil. A company named Petrobras, which was the biggest supplier for petrol in Brazil, wanted to construct a petrochemical factory in a small town called Itaboraí. But when they for constructing such a factory in Itaboraí, they gave the construction contracts to a firm of construction companies where they created a cartel, and then they overpriced so many contracts and they made profits off of the overpriced contracts which were given to them by Petrobras, and they used the extra, and the Petrobras officials used the extra money as incentives to give more contracts to the cartel. And when the scandal was leaked and when it was found out, when it was shown to the public, many people were arrested, and many people were also unemployed. Even the ex prime minister of Brazil was put behind bars. Another scam which I'd like to talk about is the Vyapam scam, which took place in Madhya Pradesh from the 1990s to the 2000s. Here people started leaking. In Madhya Pradesh, the exams were conducted for government jobs, and the officials started leaking papers for a huge sum of money, and so they would use a system called as engine bogie system, where the engine would be a topper or a doctor who had already written these exams, and the bogie would be a person who was willing to get a seat in the particular college. So they would sit together, and the doctor or the topper would impersonate the student who is willing to write the exams, and at the end of the exam they would switch papers, and the student who is willing to get the seat into the college would get the admission instead. Thousands of crores of rupees were utilized in bribes, and this has really fueled corruption in our country.
And we are going to see what are types of corruption is happening in our country. So first is political form. We know that many politicians are involved in this actually. So politicians are supposed to help people for distribution of money and development of the country, but they are not doing so. So we know that they take half of the money, that is 80% of them, for their personal gain, and only 20% is reaching them, and that is not actually beneficial for people, mainly the poor. So the next is the judicial form. That is the judicial form. Many criminals are actually bribing the judicial government people to support them and confuse the trials that they actually are supposed to get. So this is actually not this is like abiding our own law and country's system. So they provide money, and these black monies are even converted into white monies by distributing it to people in unknown forms. So next is financial and bureaucratic form, which we personally people also are involved in it. Like rich people are getting license and other personal things that government are supposed to ask them to keep. They do give money for the government people and get all the certificates easily. That is not going through the government form actually. So these are all called red tape, which is actually beneficial for only the corrupting people. So we are supposed to stop it, and we have done this to only develop and curiosity in people and stop all these things. So government have bought this DBT solution to stop the transform in a different ways, so that these monies are transferred to people directly through Aadhaar cards connected to government from banks. So people can get aware of this using Aadhaar cards, go government office and get to know about this.
The money leakage system is over here. So the ideal system of money would actually be from a government, which you pay taxes, to bank and then to the citizen. But it actually goes to two different pathways, where the first pathway is through middlemen, where we pay extra taxes either through like wholesale or retail or something like that. And also if the government and the country is not functioning properly, then the money also reaches the corrupt officials in a way, which could be very harmful for us. And because of corruption, it hinders the growth of a country's economy, and it also it also destroys the transparency between the government laws, and it also destroys the democracy that we are all living with.